Okay, on to the next thing. We've done a bunch of serious stuff. It's all bloody cheap. Oh, so far. So let's go with something I think it could be a bit sillier and simpler. I don't know what CBT stands for, but we're gonna do CBT with Yuuka Kazami. I'm assuming it's some kind of drug. I'm probably wrong, but you never know. I don't know. I have no idea. Anyway, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do the CBTs, whatever that is. With whoever this green-haired girl is. Yuuka Kazami. Okay, let's meet the quarter. Can we full screen? OBS doesn't like that. That's fine. Text speed good. Auto forward low. Music, let's put it. It's the same menu. Do the same things. Good. Makes things simpler. Yeah, let's start. Hello, Yuuka Kazami. Which game do you want? Alright, it's got DLC. Let's do CBT first. Then we're gonna get help with patchouli knowledge. But let's first do CBT. You walk along your way to the forest and search for the field of sunflowers. After some time, you come across the sunflower garden. You meet the person you're looking for.
Hey, that's as far as you go. I really don't want you stepping on these sunflowers. You'll hurt the poor, tortured souls that live inside them. Just kidding. Mostly.
Okay.
I'm Yuuka Kazami. You must be here for the CBT sessions. I mostly just keep to myself and enjoy the company of flowers all year round. But I figured it can't hurt to learn more about humans and how their minds worked.
Uh-oh.
So I picked up a psychology book that the half-yokai shop owner had laying around in his store. It was there.
Oh yeah, that guy that we learned about in Fading Illusions. We discovered he is.
It was there that I learned about cognitive behavioral therapy.
Oh, that's what CBT is. Okay, it's not a drug at all. Okay, let's do cognitive therapy then instead. We need that, I suppose.
It seemed pretty useful and I couldn't help but want to share with a few humans. And here we are. So glad you could make it. Really glad you can make it. Real glad.
Uh-oh. I'm worried now.
Anyway, it's so nice of you to join me. The human mind, it's deep and complex. It's amazing. But at the same time, it's quite irrational. Downright absurd at some points.
Yeah, no shit it is.
Our brain is ultimately trying to protect itself, but sometimes it overacts to things that aren't really viable threats to our safety and well-being. These irrational thoughts can cause a slew of problems to our mental health. That's where cognitive behavioral therapy comes in. Essentially, CBT is using logic-based strategies to help alleviate symptoms of poor mental health.
I could use that probably.
Our problems come from irrationality, so it's only natural that grounding ourselves in logic and reason can help us live better. We can't change how we feel, but we can certainly change how we react.
That is correct.
And by changing how we react, we can eventually change how we feel. It becomes a full circle just like nature itself. Kinda beautiful when you think about it that way. With cognitive behavioral therapy, you can take some steps to finally reclaim your true self. With that said, this is different from simply giving you advice. There are actual activities that you have to try multiple times to see results. But you wouldn't have come all this way to not put at least some effort in, right?
No. I had no idea what I was in for.
It would be very nice to waste your time here. Or my time. Wouldn't be nice.
I'm terrified of this Yuuka.
She's... At all. Yeah, I'm terrified. With that said, let's begin the first lesson. This one is about negative or inaccurate thinking. In life, sometimes things do not go our way. Naturally, this is perfectly normal and bound to happen eventually. However, sometimes we think of the worst possible things as a result of when the unexpected occurs. As a result, we may develop certain lines of thinking that are not in line with reality. To combat this, we simply just need to challenge these overblown thoughts with reality. For example, let's say you said hi to a friend you saw across a hall or a street, but uh-oh, they seemingly completely ignored you. Now tell me, what is the reason for this? What usually comes to your mind when something like this happens? Or they didn't hear or notice?
Wow. None of these options? My friend hates me. Why would you think that's some internal paranoia? My friend was mad at me over something that I did. That's like, I mean, I don't know. Might have happened, probably not though. I must be dumb, stupid, and ugly. Where's the fourth option of they didn't hear me? Oh, but that's what CBT, that's what we're here for. All these options are basically the same. They're all the same.
It's common to think that at first glance. Well, as you have just demonstrated, it's easy to jump to a conclusion and think it must be our fault when something like this happens. However, this is mostly an emotional side taking to us this way. We have not yet challenged with logic. Now, I will demonstrate some logical grounds as to why your friend might have ignored you. They could have been busy with something that took up all of their attention. They thought it was a stranger calling someone else. They could have been dealing with something serious and your voice was drowned out. They simply didn't hear you. See, isn't that better? Don't you find it's much more likely that they just didn't hear you than them hating you over something that you're not even sure would have made them upset? Next time you think of such negative thoughts, try to counter it with logic. Instead of thinking, they walked past me because they hate me, try something much more logical such as, they were probably busy with something and simply didn't hear me. Of course, it doesn't apply to just friends, it can apply to anything. For instance, I myself don't particularly have any close friends, but I still worry about some things. When I go flower gazing, a thought will pop in my head. I'll think, oh no, what if someone interrupts my gazing and ruins the flowers I enjoy watching so much? But then I go, don't worry, the moment he so much as creases these flowers, I'll slowly turn him inside out with my pinky finger and make his family watch. Yeah, of course she's terrifying. And I just feel so much better afterwards. Yay for murder. Ha 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 ha. Indeed, ha 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 ha. Oh, but such a thing doesn't really relate to you, here's one. Let's say you want to go to the doctor, but you're scared of needles and don't want to get seriously injured. Once again, just challenge it with logic. Counter with something like, she's a trained professional who has done this countless times. The chances of anything going seriously wrong are extremely low. Now I hope you get the general idea. Overall, if you get any negative thoughts that are causing you unease, be sure to try and challenge them with logic-based thoughts. Oh, I wouldn't try to have grand arguments with yourself in your head. Just simply address the thoughts. And remember, you don't have to entirely believe what you counter it with. The important thing is to just respond in an appropriate manner. Well, that concludes our first lesson. Now, on to the next lesson. This one is about thought journals. Thought journals are the use of writing down your negative feelings and identifying patterns of harmful and often illogical thinking. Then challenging these lines of thinking with more helpful, balanced, and logical thoughts. First, you write out what exactly is causing you distress and why. Be as specific as you can. Write down what you're feeling. You can even note the intensity of how you feel. Then, when you have written it out, identify the portions of irrational thinking present in what you have written. Finally, after you have identified the irrational portions, change them into more healthy, balanced thoughts that are based on logic. This is helpful not only because you're challenging your beliefs again, but also because writing down your thoughts allows you to give them a whole new perspective that can help you cope better. Now, the tricky part is identifying what exactly you wrote down that's irrational. I think it's best if I just give you an example of what a proper thought journal entry looks like. Take a look at this. A tailor-made for a common situation humans face. What's bothering me? I think my friends actually don't like me and I don't want to hang out with me because I'm a depressing person who brings them down. How this makes me feel: sad, depressed, lonely, helpless. How bad it hurts 10 out of 10, it hurts pretty bad. Irrational lines of thinking present in this thought. Mind reading. I am assuming that my friends are thinking about me even though I cannot read their minds. There's no way to know what they're thinking without them actually telling me. Negative assumptions. I'm only thinking that my friends don't like me. However, I did not take into account the nice things they have done for me that prove that they do in fact like me. Emotional reading. Reasoning. I am only going off of this based on feeling alone and not logic. There is no evidence to suggest that my friends secretly despise me. What is a more balanced, reasonable thought? My friends wouldn't actually be my friends if they didn't like me. I can always ask them if there's anything I do that puts them in a worse mood, or they could just tell me because themselves and we can work from there. And with that, you should have an understanding of what a thought journal is and how to use it. It involves more effort, but can be more helpful. That's generally what you have to put in when it comes to more extensive therapy. On to the final lesson. This one is called belief experimentation. This one is a step further from what you've learned so far. This one is the most powerful CBT strategy you can learn. As the name implies, a belief experiment is when you act out on something that you think may cause you distress and then noting what actually happened when you acted it out. Since our negative feelings are not based on reality, acting them out and noting what happened is one of the best ways you can ease troubles. This is because more often than not, what actually transpired doesn't match with what we thought would happen in our minds. Now, to get started, first, start by writing down the experiment you're going to do that's based on your troubles. Then write down what you think is gonna happen. Next, perform your experiment, whenever that may be. Then, you write down what actually ended up happening and what you have learned from it. Was it as bad as you thought it was? Was it a positive or negative outcome? Would you be doing this again in the future? Did it ease your troubles? Just like the thought journal, reflection is key. I know, I'll perform a belief experiment myself. I already finished some of it anyway. Here goes. Experiment. I shall give CBT lessons to a human. Prediction. The human will end up wasting my time because I believe humans to be weak and disappointing. Outcome? Well, I guess now is as good a time as any of a time to show you my new spell card. Now then, where were we? Spell card just pulls out a gun. I mean, that's a good spell card, you know? Like the wizard casting fist. Alright, we were just seeing if you were really wasting my time or not. Let me quiz you on some of the things we learned today. If you get it right, that means you have indeed been listening and therefore have not been wasting my time, thus proving that humans aren't so bad after all. Get it wrong and well, you'll just be confirming what I knew, but that's okay, it doesn't affect me in the slightest. Now, on to the first question. Let's start with something basic. What does CBT stand for? Maybe Yuuka, I love you, Yuuka, Yuuka Biscuit. Cognitive behavioral therapy, come on. Good, now for the next question. What is a cognitive thought journal? When you write about events that's bothering you, find flaws in your line of thought. When you write about how much you love Yuuka, when you write about how happy you're going to make you, when you write about how cute. Very nice. On to the last question. What is a belief experiment? When you act out what's bothering you and take note of what actually transpired when you experiment with kissing Yuuka, when you experiment with calling Yuuka cute. Wait, I'm gonna have to do this skit to see what the fuck happens here. I mean, she's just gonna shoot us, isn't she? She's just gonna shoot us. You know, let's find out. Let's find out when you experiment with kissing Yuuka. Come now, I was never going to hurt you. I just like to have fun and toy around with humans. They're so unique. Sometimes I just mess around with them. Other times they turn into fertilizer for the sunflowers. Mostly kidding with that one. Mostly. Anyways, let's take the thought experiment from the top, shall we? Okay, let's load. Let's just load this back up. Yep. Now let's just go with the actual thing. Oh, never mind. Oh, that doesn't matter what you answer. It's like, okay. Shall we? Experiment. I should give CBT lessons to a human. Prediction: the human will end up wasting my time because prediction did not come true. The human listened to me attentively, answered every question correctly, exceeded my expectations, and thoroughly entertained me. Reflection. Humans can be a wonderful source of entertainment. I shall hang out with them more. Particularly this human right here. Oh, I guess this goes without saying, but when you feel scared or frightened, always remember the happy times in your life. Good memories can save your life, as they say. Well, that concludes the lessons. Try out whichever method works best for you whenever you need to use it. Make use of it what I taught you today. I mean it. That's it. I had a really good time today. Thank you. You're free to come back anytime you want if you need a refresher. I do hope to see you again. I better see you soon. Well, take care now. Alright. I mean, there's nothing to replay effectively. Alright, let's quit and let's just start with the other game. Let's... Oh, no, not history. Let's get helpful truly knowledge then. I knew this was gonna be short, so that's nice. That's a nice refresher from the serious stuff there. And the random bird dating game sim. That was not related to Touhou, but was still nice. After making your way to the mansion, you wander aimlessly around the library, looking for the person who might be able to help you. After a while, you find the person you're looking for and greet her. Hi. Patchouli, hi. Hello.
Oh, I didn't see you there. I'd imagine you didn't have too much trouble getting here, given how rather easy it is to get past our mansion gates.
Normally I'd try fry intruders to a crisp, but I don't sense one shred of danger from your aura. And that look on your face, you seem like you need some help. I'm Patchouli Knowledge. What brings you here? Oh, you're the... Well, perfect timing. I've actually been looking for you. Thanks for showing up. I have a story to tell you. This story is 100% true. None of it has been made up. Just for you, I'm going to use the full extent of what I've learned during my reading. It dates back to a long time ago, so get comfortable, this may take a while. Ahem. Long ago, before even Remilly and I were born, the people told rumors of a sacred object that would give you the entire world. If you had this sacred artifact, you would have power beyond your wildest dreams. As long as you had it, you would have the heart of a lion, the strength of 100 men, the cunning of a snake, and the speed of a leopard. However, it became apparent that only those with a pure and noble heart could use it. For that reason, this sacred artifact is the reason behind the rise and fall of many civilizations throughout history. It's Cyrano. I know Cyrano from a bunch of fan art. People like make fun of Cyrano a little bit because she's like apparently illiterate or something, but she's a fun little ice fairy pixie thing, whatever. It originated when the artifact stood on top of a rock on a hill somewhere in ancient Britannia. But no man or woman was able to take it off the stone, until one day a young boy named Charles... No, wait, it wasn't Charles, it was... Ah, right. It was none other than Caesar. Sure. Through the power of Cyrano, Achibi Cyrano, you conquer Rome. But no, Caesar came... Well, I was already super powerful by the time of Caesar. And when Caesar took the fumo out of the stone... Fumo... he was in complete awe over his newfound strength. He personally treaded 200,000 miles back to Rome. The Earth is like 26,000 miles across. Even if you take a really long path from Britannia to Rome, it's like maybe... It's not that long. It's not that big. It's like 2,000 miles. Not even that, actually. Sure. He then built up the entire Roman Empire from the ground up with his bare hands. Sure. The little fumo. Wonderful history, and this is like France. I think... Oh, this might be Rome. This is probably... Yeah, the dome. That's Rome. Still, this is a bit late. This is like Renaissance Rome. The sacred artifact laid on top of it as a true testament to its power. But alas, he went mad with power and abused his position. He became more cruel than he was merciful. Everyone revolted against the cruel emperor. And at the last moment, when he needed it, the sacred artifact vanished from his very eyes. Oh no, sir, no bye. Caesar was killed by his own people. Overnight, every single Roman city collapsed and crumbled. And that's how the Roman Empire fell. Anyways, that's enough history for now. What I meant to show you is... Surprise! Happy birthday! We heard the news and decided we should all come back. How old are you now? 18, 19, 21, 25, 30. I'm 30 now. But bit too old. Hello, Sakura. It doesn't matter. You still look cute enough to be chopped up into 30 tiny pieces and eaten. Please no. Indeed, maybe I can cook you up and feed the mistresses while we're at it. I don't want to be vampire food. It would make a rather nice stack. Just kidding. Oh, we were? Darn it, I was getting excited for a second there. Goddamn Yuuka. Goddamn Yuuka. Anyways, Patchouli, I believe you have something for our special guest. That's right. It wouldn't be much our birthday without a present. Of course. It's about that legendary artifact I was talking about earlier. It was found on the borders of Gensokyo, and we managed to procure it through slightly questionable means. That's fine. This whole situation is very questionable. Here you go, King. With this, as long as you have a noble heart, there's nothing you won't be able to do. It's yours now. Let's just... Sure, fuck it, it's not a birthday. It was a while ago.
You tell her you appreciate the kind gesture, but they're mistaken. Your tone immediately changed. You assure them that it is in fact your birthday.
Fucking Yuuka pulling a gun on us all the time.
You then proceed to take the arms back. Yeah, there's no choice. As soon as you touch it, it disappears and you can feel its essence seep deep inside of you.
Well, look at that. The human became one with it.
I've never seen anything like it.
One more thing, human. It's a request from all of us. That's right. We do care about you and your well-being.
Indeed, that's why.
We want you to promise us.
That you'll never stop getting better.
And if you ever feel down again, please don't hesitate to see me again.
Or me. I promise I won't hurt you. For the most part. God damn it, Yuuka.
Well, time to celebrate. I'll bring the cake. I'll get Kwakuma to catch the drinks.
Then I'll stay here with the human in the meantime.
Don't get too excited now, Yuuka.
Can't promise you that.
God damn it, Yuuka. Hopefully Yuuka will behave herself while the others are gone. Hopefully. Alright, well that's that. Yay. That was neat. That was fun. Short and sweet and fun. And all that jazz. Okay, on to the next thing, then whatever that is. It's an Ichigo thing again. Okay, bye. Next, I mean.